world, as opposed to what an algorithm from Google thinks I'll be interested in. Because that'll stop you from growing, and that will stunt your ability to relate to other human beings. And that, I think, is a very dangerous place that we're finding ourselves in. These divides that we feel in our society, this black-white divide that we feel in our society, this Republican-Democrat, left and right chasm that we feel in our society. Well, that's a tough one. That's a tough one to overcome, and I don't think I'm alone in saying I don't think I've ever noticed it being this bad or this pronounced. And there's certainly other contributing factors, but it's really hard to be mad at somebody who votes differently than you if you hang out with them, if you see that they're a decent guy. But if you are, people get awfully manly and awfully braggadocious behind a keyboard, and they get bent out of shape and they get pissed over nothing, over something somebody said on the internet, that if they were face to face with them in person would not have the stones to say to them. And it's not so much not having the stones to say to them as much as it is being, I don't want to be a social retard. I don't want to go up and say, hey, you know that thing you think? I think it's stupid. But when you are hiding behind your keyboard, when you are acting digitally, when you are not faced with the consequence of face-to-face communications, and you are not held to social norms, because we're living in a society, when you are allowed to disconnect yourself from all of that by sitting behind a keyboard, well then, that's when we get into dangerous territory. So when the Eagles say, hey, if you're going to watch a show, we're going to kick your ass out because you're using your cell phone, not only do I think they're well within their rights in terms of how they want their concert-going experience to be, not only are they well within their rights, but I honestly believe that they are helping society begin to dig themselves. They're helping society begin to dig itself out of the hole, the chasm of hate and resentment that the digital age has been digging us into for the longest time. Thank you so much for joining me, he said, speaking to people that are listening almost exclusively on their cell phones and realizing that he had just effectively urinated all over his own sneakers. What the hell did I just do? I don't know, but I do know this, though. A woman that paid for white sperm had a black baby, and now she wants her money back. We'll talk about that shortly.
Uncle Sam bends me over with no lube every April, and I'm proud to be an American, but I'm getting really hateful. Billionaires and losers both get their asses bailed out, and I'm stuck in the middle like a sucker giving handouts. So F you.
Go ahead, favorite the show, and enjoy AD on the go. iHeartRadio presents AD.
So what have we learned? We learned that the Eagles told people if you use your cell phone to record our show, if you're texting, if you're videoing things, we know you want to post it on Facebook. We know that a key function of existing in today's society is posting stuff on Facebook, crappy video of awesome concerts so you can let your friends know that you went to high school with how much better your life is going than theirs. And there is a value in that, I suppose, especially if you are the high school friend that got fat. If you're a chick and all you post is pictures of your kid, we know you got fat. But here's the thing. The Eagles had a very good point when they told people to put away their cell phones or they'd get kicked out of the concert this past weekend just gone by when they played. And that point is you're missing life if you're constantly recording. If you are constantly trying to document life, you're looking at everything life has to offer through your cell phone's camera. And you're really missing some good stuff. And like I said, in this day and age of digital, where I feel as though Google, Facebook, all of these, the algorithms that cater to you are putting you in a bubble that only shows you things you're interested in. This is complicit in the retardation of the development that we have going on as a species. If you're not reaching outside of your bubble, you're not learning, you're not growing, and you're just being allowed to harbor your opinions without interacting with other people. And this is why I think there are greater amounts of school shootings, mass shootings. People can't communicate. They can't connect. They get frustrated and they need to make a statement. And as much as other mental health issues definitely play into it at the time, that inability to connect that we are having in this digital age will kill us all. So The Eagles saying put down your cell phone and actually enjoy the experience. Yeah, I'm kind of with that. I think they're helping us in more ways than they realize. Yay, Don Henley. I got a tweet from Jacob who said, what blows my mind is that instead of a car, kids are turning 16 and they'd rather have an iPhone. And you know what? That's totally true. It's totally true. They're preoccupied about what phone they're going to get. Remember when you were a kid growing up, a car represented freedom. A car represented your own life. And now you get that from your phone. You don't get that from going out into the world. And as a parent, I think, well, I'm not a parent, but if I was a parent, I would hazard a guess that if my kid wanted to choose between a car and a phone, I'd be like, yeah, take the phone. You can get into way less trouble, way less accidents sitting at home on the couch. And that's the knee-jerk reaction. But let's not destroy our abilities, and let's definitely, because, if you're a grown-up now, you remember a pre-digital age. You remember a time where you had to shake hands, you had to have interactions with people, you had to get things done based on human relationships. You remember that time. But if you're a kid growing up in this era, you've never experienced that in your life. And I would urge you, if you are a parent, as much as everything that is digital can cater to your kid, and as much as it can make them happy, keep them out of your hair while you're distracted trying to deal with the rigmarole of life. Don't let your kid grow up without the ability to interact with other humans. It's a slippery slope that will lead us into a very dangerous place. Thank you so much for hanging out, being part of my radio family. Don't know exactly where all that came from, but thank you so much for being part of the show. New people checking in on Twitter during the Twitter roll call. That's kind of cool. Lisa and Terry accidentally found us on the iHeartRadio app and hooked after one listen. I appreciate that. Isn't it kind of amazing, Funkhouser, that we're on this sort of like iHeartRadio app, and people, like, when I first heard that we were going to be doing this, I was like, no one's listening. It turns out people actually are. It's impressive. Doesn't it make you feel better about getting up early in the morning to do the show?
Yeah, I like the discovery part of it. It's where you can meet new people around the country. Someday around the world.
Yep. No, I think what's interesting about the fact that we're on this iHeartRadio thing is that nobody cares what we do. Like, there's no actual money wrapped up in this show. And if we were put on sort of like a local AM talk station with 0 ratings, as AM talk stations tend to have in this day and age, we would be put on, we'd be like, oh, there's those subversive kids that want to F with the system. We would be put on at a time where absolutely nobody listened, and we would have a program director relentlessly breathing down our necks, trying to make us into the next Rush Limbaugh or the next Glenn Beck or something like that. And what we've been given the opportunity to do is build a talk radio pirate ship. And right now, unbeknownst to the corporate machine, we are sailing around the world, picking up listeners, picking up friends, picking up contributors to the show, putting them on our talk radio pirate ship. And before they know about it, it'll be too late. There'll be so many people on this ship. It'll be a fleet. It'll be a navy. And we'll be able to be like, no, we're not going to cater to your angry old white guy version of what radio should be. Look at what we've amassed. It's our way or the highway. That's what I tell myself every single morning as I come in here. And I'm like, why do I do this again? So yeah, for now, let's perpetuate that idea, Funkhouser, and take a look at the news of today in our segment, My Witness News. In no way, shape, or form fair. Certainly not balanced. Funkhouser, how are you? What did you do this weekend?
Well, I have breaking news.
Oh, okay.
I joined LO.
You joined? What did you do?
I joined LO. We're both on that thing now.
Oh yeah, the new form of the commercial-free version of Facebook.
Yeah, you're my first friend there.
Yep. I'm on LO. That's kind of cool. I feel special and clever and smart.
Yeah.
It was so funny because, like, kind of this first to the party, techie, futuristic radio guy, or at least that's how a lot of people see me with a lot of stuff. And I started getting listeners would hit me up and be like, hey, can you get me an LO invite? I'm like, first I have to find out what an LO invite is. And then I got one myself. And it's this kind of like elitist thing, which I hate. I hate anything elitist. But you can only get on LO if you have an invite. But yes, Funkhouser and I are now both on LO. We feel fancy.
Yes.
Yeah, we're on the list. We got in. Yeah.
And now to the real news.
Yeah.
Sort of. Kim Kardashian reportedly forgot her daughter at a Paris hotel.
Well, yeah, I heard about that. Here's the thing. In Kim's defense, it was her daughter. It's not like her daughter is something important to her, like a pair of Louboutin heels or a Versace handbag. It's fine. In her world. What else?
Kim and Kanye are trying for another baby.
Nah, I heard about that. The rumor began after E! debuted its new show. Kim and Kanye try for a baby. One last piece of Kardashian news before we bail.
Khloe Kardashian is reportedly trying to woo back Lamar Odom.
Yeah, even treated him to his favorite restaurant, Outback Crack House.
Delivering fascinating subjects, interesting talk, and boobs and fart jokes. AD on iHeartRadio.
Let's go, talking that mess, better act like you know. Let's go tonight, walk away, punk, yeah, bitch. That's right, I know this. You're nothing but a punk, bitch. You're nothing but a punk, bitch. So walk away, yeah. You've been talking about me.
Funkhouser. Let's rip through the news, and if we have time, we'll discuss this woman who decided she wanted a kid. Being a lady that enjoys the tender romantic caress of another lady, she didn't want to get it in the traditional way, so she went to a sperm bank, bought herself some sperm, got artificially inseminated, and was a little perturbed when she found out that she had a black kid, only because she'd ordered the sperm of a white man. And here's the thing. She wants money. Is she entitled to it, or is that racist? It's a loaded question.
I think you have to ask for vanilla now, like at Wendy's.
That's what I love about Funkhouser. He's just kind of like... Everybody makes things more complicated than they have to be. Funkhouser gets right down to the heart of the matter, as we say in talk radio. And you know what? He's right. We'll get to whether she should get some sort of financial restitution for getting chocolate instead of vanilla when at the sperm clinic. Right now, though, let's take a look at the events of today in My Witness News. Let's wrap up the news. I like this new dramatic news bed. It makes me feel smart in a way that I'm not. Yeah. Yeah. Go on.
Robert Downey Jr.'s in the news. He says he'll only do Iron Man 4 if Mel Gibson directs it.
And Mel Gibson says he'll only direct if Iron Man's enemy is Israel. Oh, my goodness. Is Mel Gibson that great of a director?
He's a good voicemail leaver.
Yeah, he certainly has a flair for the dramatic when it comes to... he certainly has a flair. Do we have any of that?
We can't air any of it anyway.
Yeah, is it illegal to air it?
Yeah.
And not just because of the F-bombs in it?
No, we can air it probably, but it's got a lot of F's in it.
Yeah, maybe we can find a cleaned up version. I don't know. I didn't realize that like Mel Gibson was that great of a directorial talent. Like Robert Downey Jr. has been on this incredible tear for the last 10 or 15 years. Ever since he cleaned up his life, knocked the booze and the drugs and everything that was holding him back on the ever since he knocked all that on the head and he's going through life again, doing the things he ought to be doing. People love this guy. People do. And you can only go so long being a public figure before you have a thought that you should have kept to yourself that you mutter to the public. Like, I'm only going to do it if a noted anti-Semite directs it. And it's like, oh, really? Really? That's okay. Yeah. What else?
Celebrities are now grabbing their crotches to raise awareness for testicular cancer.
Yes, it's true. I guess the Ice Bucket Challenge has officially run its course, and now there's this crotch grab for testicular cancer that people are posting on Facebook and things of that nature. Yep, trying to raise awareness for testicular cancer. Some of them are doing it because they recently had sex with someone with the last name Kardashian, but the rest are doing it to raise awareness. What else? Itching themselves is what they're doing, I think.
Are you going to do it on LO? I might do it on LO.
So, like, this new social network that Funkhouser and I are on is supposed to be the commercial-free version of Facebook. And seeing as we spent the first half of the show talking about wouldn't it be great to have a depersonalized digital experience that wasn't constantly trying to predict who you are,